Our next topic, we're going to talk about the infamous roundabouts in the city of Kennewick. Evelyn Lusigna is with me today, and it's actually the second time that you've been with us, and I'm so glad that you're here and willing to talk, Evelyn, about roundabouts. I first called you because I wanted to know about the artwork, major pieces of artwork that are in the center of some of these roundabouts. So let's get to that a little bit later, but how many roundabouts does Kennewick have?
We are proud to say we have 22 roundabouts in Kennewick.
22! I don't think I realized it was that many. 22!
Wow.
And I think it was probably on your website. Did I see that the only group or city or jurisdiction that has more in the state of Washington is the state of Washington?
That is correct.
No other city has 22?
No other city has as many or more than we do.
Wow. 22. Okay. So you must like them.
We do. We love our roundabouts. We're very proud of them. Some would argue that fact, but we are very proud of the roundabouts.
Well, you know, I'm not meaning to insult anyone, but if you drive it like you're supposed to, they are a very effective alternative to a four-way stop. Raise your hands. How many people out there remember what's the number one rule of a four-way stop? Yield to the right. And most of the time you end up having to wave the other guy across. Roundabout, you look left, you right, you keep going.
John's got it down.
It's not rocket science.
You better
people.
use him for some of your tutorials that you do. So why do you like them so much?
Well, the number one reason that we like them so much is they greatly improve safety. So they're keeping our citizens safe by having them. You know, a four-way stop, people can run a stop sign. And in fact, we've had a fatality in Kennewick at a four-way stop. At a roundabout, while you can still have a collision, you're going much slower. There may be some body damage to your car, but there's not the physical injury in an accident. So the safety improves in roundabouts up to 90%.
90%?
90%.
Well, do you have statistical information to back that up?
We absolutely do. I'd be glad to share it with anyone. We have there's reports on it and analysis, and they definitely do. And in fact, we're going up on 15 years. Our first roundabout was at 27th and Union, so that opened up in the fall of 2000. We had a lot of extra traffic with the Southridge High School opening up, and that's where we saw a 90% reduction at that intersection when we put a roundabout there. And then, of course, we've grown from there up to 22, and we even have one in the design hopper for Ridgeline and Zintel Way. So in the future, there'll be 23 or more.
Oh my, wow, okay. I want to give you our phone number in case you want to call, you want to join our conversation. Any comments, any questions, we'll take them on. 547-8726. So we've been doing this for 15 years. I remember 15 years ago when we just did quite a few news stories on how do you operate in a roundabout. And it appears that most people have finally 15 years later, we've got it figured out, but there are still, maybe they're out-of-towners who don't know how to operate in a roundabout.
I'd like to think they're from out of town. I think our citizens have grown used to them, are navigating them very well. But you're right. You come across once in a while a driver who seems to have no idea how to navigate one, and so I assume that they're new to the area when that happens.
Do you? Okay. Well, what about they're maybe from Pasco? They're maybe from Richland. Well, how many roundabouts do they have in the other cities? Do you know?
I don't know. I know they're starting to add more of them as well, because I know I was talking to my counterparts, the public relations counterparts in the cities, and they were talking about that they have more in the design for those cities as well.
All right. We've got a caller. Let's go ahead and add you to our conversation today. How you doing? That's interesting.
And I can't speak to the testing requirements that the state has, but it should be included in their curriculum for how to navigate a roundabout. you know, it is pretty simple. I mean, you yield to the traffic that is already in the roundabout. You yield to pedestrians. So similar to four-way stop, but like was mentioned, you don't have to come to a complete stop. It's just like a yield sign. If there's no traffic, you can go.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Very good question. Thank you.
Great. Let's go ahead and add another person to our conversation. Hi, you're on the air with us today.
Well, thank you. Absolutely. That's what we've been saying. And I think a lot of people have come to say that as well. You know, anytime something's new to the community. So 15 years ago, we did get a lot of feedback on what's up with these roundabouts. Why are you doing so many? We're not hearing that as much anymore. So, but it's also great for someone to come in out of town and recognize right away that they really do move traffic more efficiently. They absolutely are safer. And then we get to put, you know, artwork and other things in the middle of them. I know you were going to touch on that. So the enhancements that they bring to the community, not only the safety aspect, but the enhancements that we bring to our residents and to our visitors.
And one other thing to mention too is that, and I know of some guys that work at tire stores, and they've told me they can tell who drives the routes in Kennewick with roundabouts, because there's certain types of tire wear, but they also made sure to point out to me that when you're going through a roundabout, even if you have a high-performance vehicle, you're not supposed to drive it like Sonoma, like a road course. Because if you go at a reasonable rate of speed, you won't wear the outside bead off the tire.
Oh, okay. So, all right. So they're seeing drivers maybe driving excessively through roundabouts.
I've
the
seen people
wear
go
and
through a
tear.
roundabout, and when they go to make that left turn again, they put their two left side tires up on that curving, and
Yeah.
it looks like the speed bumps that you see at a road course in a NASCAR race. And I'm like, wow, he got 6 inches airborne on that one.
You see a lot of the black marks, that's for sure, on the roundabouts. I like the landscaping also. It's really exceptional, very nice. We're going to go ahead and add this caller. Hi, how you doing today? Good. Yeah. What's your thought? Right. Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. That's not one of yours though, is it?
It is not. So the roundabouts, but not that I think that it's bad or anything, but
Yeah.
the roundabouts off the highway are state roundabouts. So the number that I stated of 22 does not include the state's roundabouts off the highway.
And that includes the one just off the Blue Bridge.
That is correct. Yeah, so at the Blue Ridge area, and then at the Steptoe Columbia Park Trail that this caller just mentioned.
Mhm.
Those are state roundabouts, so they're not in our 22 number.
They're not in that. And the 22 that do you have any that require you to make a decision beforehand of which? Yes, you do. Yes, I'm sorry. That's on 27th and Union, your very first one. You have an option to go in the roundabout or to go the other street the other direction. You got to make that decision about a block away.
There is that one lane if you're heading north.
Yes.
That, and I can't really speak to the design on that. I know our traffic engineer could, and they do a tremendous job of evaluating traffic patterns and flows. And I love talking to them. They have a passion about how our traffic goes in the community. So
They are passionate, I can tell, with 22 roundabouts. All right, when we come back, we're going to talk about some of the artwork that you see in the roundabouts. Stay with us. We're back in a moment. my guest today is Evelyn Lusigna. She's with the City of Kennewick. We're talking about roundabouts. Now I want to talk about the artwork in them. I posted a picture on our Facebook page today talking about the subjects that we were going to discuss. And it's not the newest, I'm just learning, but one of the newer ones down by, I don't even know what those streets are. What are those streets?
Grand Ridge and Young Street, right in
Oh.
front of the Convention Center and the Toyota Arena.
This one kind of went up in stages, and it is complete now. But what is it? What is it? Tell me what am I looking at?
What are you looking at? Okay,
Yeah.
well the design theme for that artwork is arts and entertainment. And so the depiction of that artwork, it's the yellow is representing the sunshine that our community has, the blue is the water, and then the musical notes, which is kinetic, it moves with the wind up at top. So
Oh, I
that's-
didn't know
So
that.
that's pretty cool. It
Oh.
represents obviously the music, and then there's kind of dancing elements down below. That's our arts and entertainment district, and of course, you know, that's got a huge future as we're growing with the Vista field now with the port and being able to develop that. So that art was looking at not only what we have now, but for the future as well. We have an extremely amazing arts commission. We have 9 members who volunteer their time to look at art amenities for our community. They work with the council, they make recommendations, they look at, they do the selection for artists, and then work with businesses, do outreach and say, does this art represent what you want in the community? And in fact, that piece of art at Grand Ridge and Young, I know they did a lot of outreach with the businesses before an artist was selected, and so that there was a lot of positive feedback for having that design there.
Are all the different pieces, which are all metal sculpture, basically, are they all different artists, or are they the same?
They are the art at Grand Ridge and Young. That's from CGR Design Studios. CJ Wrench is the artist, and he has done other artwork for the city. The Southridge Roundabouts, the art there. There we have the flowers and the playful humans that are out there in that area. They're by the same artist. The artist at 45th and Olympia was a different artist. So we do have different artists that are selected.
What's the price tag for all of these roundabout art pieces?
Well, they can range from anywhere from, I'd say on average, it's been in the $15,000 to $30,000 range for most of the artwork that we have.
And isn't there a requirement to provide community art or not? I thought I heard that a long time ago. Am I wrong?
I don't know about a requirement. I mean, the cities will have, goals and to make it a livable community, to make it where, attractive to visitors and our residents, to improve the quality of life. So, our council definitely, that's one of our areas is that as well. I'm not sure about a specific requirement on a certain percentage of art, but art ties into the livability and the attraction for people coming into our community.
What's the feedback that you've gotten on these pieces of art?
Actually, it's been, with art, there's always a risk, some people
Yes.
are going to either love it or hate it, but the majority of the feedback we have had is positive. Even for people who have said, I don't really like art or really love that piece, but I like the idea of the art being in a roundabout instead of just concrete or just rock, that it is unique. It does make our community look more vibrant, and when visitors come here, they say, hey, this is different, this is cool. And we're definitely trying to appeal to younger generations too. We want to increase the attraction for younger people coming to our community, and I think that helps as well.
Evelyn Lusigna from the City of Kennewick here today talking about roundabout art and the 22 roundabouts, and it could be 23 soon. Evelyn, thank you so much. Really appreciate hearing from you today.
I really appreciate it as well. Thank you.
That's good. We'll be back in just a moment.